Got it.
Hey guys, it's your friend Big Ed, and this is my very first.
Got it.
Hey guys, it's your friend Big Ed, and this is my very first podcast. And I am so excited today because I'm going to be talking to Tom Suvansari. Tom is a financial analyst or strategist with an MBA from Penn State University, over 20 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. But he founded this company called Perennial Pride. And really, I've been going to Tom. I think he provides great financial strategies, teaches people how to build wealth. It's so important in this market is understanding where to go, how to get there. And what Tom does is he uses knowledge of banks, insurance firms, brokerage houses, and he tries to teach his clients how to leverage these things. And I'm not going to talk too much more because I'm going to get Tom to speak a little bit. But maybe Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your program, and what you do to help people. I think that would be great.
That's awesome, Ed. Hey, thanks for having me on this. This is this is exciting because I think we have such similar thoughts and values around trying to help people, just empower them to do what they want to do for their own lives, right? Whether it's buying a home or building wealth, empowering them. And that's my practice came, like you mentioned, I spent most of my life in corporate America, kind of living the normal life, right? Staying in the lane of what society tells us we're supposed to do to be successful, to build wealth, right?
Yeah.
And, slowly but surely, as I started surveying the land and experiencing things like market crashes, and I just felt I didn't have any really strong control over my wealth, right? It was in the hands of others, the institutions, the banks, whatever it was. It really wasn't in my control. And I said it didn't feel great, right? I had advisors and they were telling me all the same sorts of things. And as I started realizing, and I said, well, I've got to get more ownership of it over time. And so I started learning. I was saying, what are other people doing? What are the wealthy people doing? Right?
Right.
What's off the beaten path? And that's what took me down to learning it for myself and so I could break away from that flow of living a corporate life and a job that I didn't love and turning it for my own self to have some financial freedom. And so why I created Perennial Pride is to help people learn that for themselves, empower them to control their financial life, but more ultimately to control their lives, right?
Yeah.
Because wealth was something that I personally was just chasing. And when I got to some wealth, I said, well, this doesn't actually feel any better, right?
Yeah, no,
I didn't,
that's one question I have. You keep mentioning the word wealth, and I know I'm going off script, but that's me. So if we're talking wealth, what does that mean?
like to me,
Yeah,
in my definition of it, and you can have wealth in all areas of your life, right?
sure.
To me, it's abundance of anything you want in life. You have an abundance of it, right? And to be, it could be a relationship with your family, right? Your health, right? Your spirituality, and for money is having enough more money to do what you want in your world, right? To have the freedom to choose your life. We
Hmm.
typically are chasing money, so it brings us something, but try to have people think about and flip it. Say, think about what you want your life to be, and then think about how the resource of wealth and money can help support it, right? We think of this word as wealth as success. Well, that can mean a whole host of things for people, right? Because
Mhm.
some people don't, they can have abundance without having, the millions of dollars,
Yeah,
right? That's
so
personal.
basically what you're saying is what people determine what they want in life. So for me, I like freedom. So basically that to be able to be free and free from the 9 to 5, free from this, free from
Yeah.
that. And some people they like that, but some people like that freedom to be able to do what they want. You always see on TV, oh, you can have this lavish, vacation and go here and there and everything everywhere. So I think the number one thing, maybe, am I wrong in thinking that the number one thing people should do is really determine the kind of life that they want, first of all, and then again building taking those pieces of what you're talking about wealth building. So that brings me up to, where does somebody start? Because you have somebody that maybe hit ground zero and they need to start all over again, or you have a youngster like maybe just fresh out of high school,
Yeah.
or even before that, looking at these things. And where does somebody start? Where's a good starting point?
And I think, for me, and again, this is going through the the pains of this through my own life. And now I see my kids growing up, right? And so I'm talking to them, thinking about them. And I'm thinking, okay, if I had to start this over, what would I start with first? It would be that thing that you mentioned not long ago. What do I actually want out of my life? What are some of the actual dreams I have for my lifestyle? What do I want to be doing? What do I want to become? That takes some energy. And some people throughout their entire lives never ask that question and
Yeah.
really think about it personally, because we all share different values. We have different things in our lives that we want. But we are always, again, I'm guilty of it too, externally driven, right?
Yeah.
Things that what society tells us is what success and wealth and all that stuff is. That's what drives us. You got to look inside first. Inside's way more important to figure out what it is that brings you fulfillment, that gives you a sense of joy and passion, and start there first, right? We so instantaneously say we got to get on this track because society tells us this is what's supposed to be, but we never spend time with ourselves sometimes to think about
Right.
what actually matters to us,
Yeah.
right? I
So
don't really care what anyone else thinks.
circle back, not to use a term, but to go back just a little bit, where would somebody, like, say, just starting out, would it be a savings account? Would it be like, just something just to start, and also I guess the other piece of advice would be, and this is you, but is, they're building that credit. That's important also. So
Yeah.
start with the one and maybe lead into the other.
Yeah. Just so think about it, whether in your world, right? A house, right? No one builds the house thinking of the fancy things that go into it first. What do they start with first?
Yeah, well, they start basically with looking at the kitchens. They look at the cabinets. They look at when I deal with my clients, that's normally what they start with.
Well, think about, so let me rephrase the question. As
Okay,
simple as building a house,
right. Oh,
where
you
do
have
you
to start with the
start?
foundation, sure. Yes, that
Exactly.
I understand. Okay, that's what.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. And
sure.
it's the
That makes
boring
sense.
stuff. People don't
Right.
see,
I thought you were talking about my clients.
right? Yeah, but you know what I mean? But that's to your point. Like I need the fancy kitchens. That's what I start with naturally. But
Yeah.
just like anything else, for building a house, building your wealth, your life, it's foundational, right? What are some basic financial principles and habits that people need to start adopting? You touched on it, right? I've got to learn and understand cash flow, right?
Yeah.
Cash flow is what allows us to live life. So simplest terms, spend less than you make, right? It's so simple in theory, but sometimes
Sounds
difficult
great, but
in
and,
life.
and and so what happens is those impulses, and I think that's one thing, that's could be for another show. We could
Yeah,
talk about those
yeah,
impulses that you have. I mean, we've all been victim to them. We've all been in that, like the latest and the greatest thing. You want that TV. What's going to be the number one thing on television today,
yeah,
that you have to go out and buy for the big
right,
game on Sunday? You
right,
have to have the big TV.
yeah,
Food companies, they put the food all on there. And somebody that's a
right,
little bit horizontally challenged, I get it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So there. So here's the thing. It's like that impulse control, and to be able to save and be able to put the money aside. I get it. I get that. And that's one thing. So,
yeah. So even understanding that piece of it, right? And
right.
pay, this is an overused phrase, but like pay yourself first. Well, what the
Yeah.
hell does
I
that
don't
mean?
mind my Rudolph mug. Sorry. Go ahead.
I love it.
Go ahead.
So, that concept, pay yourself first,
Right.
right? We're so instant. Look what happens. The tax code, the IRS, it was supposed to be a temporary thing, right? The tax code, right? They only put them in for wars. Now it's here in our lives. What do they do first? They take our money first, right? For most people are working jobs. They take it first, right? And they give us the rest, right? So this is where we have to train ourselves to say, how am I paying myself first? And that's even going into something as simple as saving chunks of your money somewhere, right? Starting point is even a bank, right? It isn't where I'd want to store a lot of wealth long term. But listen, to get started, that's our system today, right? The banks. And obviously, we'll get into that as a separate discussion, Ed, around,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
benefits
I mean, look,
and cons of
this was
banks.
just,
But
and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My apologies. But this is our starting point here was really to get people thinking, and I think that's what we want to do. We want to get people thinking about investing. on the real estate side of things, and just to mention this, I mean, this is kind of, it's not self-serving, but it's just telling you about the market itself. I sold a house in 2019. Okay, this big old house in Medford, New Jersey, beautiful home. Sold it for $655,000. Okay, in 2019. 2022, just sold it. I sold it again for $895,000. Okay, so here's my question: where are you going to make $240,000 in 3 years? Now, has the market shifted? Has the market changed a little bit? Yes, interest rates have gone up a little bit. But what I will tell you this: there's only 2 times in the history of real estate where it went down, 2 years, excuse me, in the last 100. Okay, what I'll also tell you that, and history has shown, if it's a good area, a good home, you maintain your home, you're going to make money on that home. I mean, I could give you 3 or 4 examples, maybe not that extreme, but I could give you 3 or 4 examples where people have made money in their house, and to have that kind of equity is always good. So some things we're going to talk about also, and just to give a little preview, and I know you help people with this too, is leveraging the money that you have saved possibly in your home, leveraging, using your credit to your advantage, all those things that are going to make you wealthy and provide the lifestyle that you want. And that's why, you know, Tom, that's why I think you're going to be really a critical part of this podcast, because you're going to help people. And that's what we're all about. We're about helping people. And I could tell you a little bit about the real estate market, obviously. And if you guys follow us, just like and share. Tom, I just wanted to thank you. It's our first time out of the box. I thought we did a pretty good job for the first time, if I say so myself. And I think that, you know, I'm really looking forward to continuing this. If you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tom, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, perennialpride.com. You can reach out to me, and I have a podcast called Perennial Pride Podcast as well. You can listen to some of that too, but we're going to cover a ton here.
Yeah.
Those are a couple of spots easy to reach out.
And I'm at Instagram, bigedsellshomes.com. I am at my YouTube channel is Big Ed Sells Homes on YouTube. So you guys like and subscribe there, please. You know, let's keep this going. I'm going to ask for more guests, and we're going to talk about a multitude of topics, because that's just how I am, and it's what I do, and we're going to have a great time. So hope to hear you guys soon, and hope you enjoyed the show. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a great day.